Hello guys, Arsenal are out of the Carabao Cup, 4-1 defeat at home to Manchester City. Difficult to be too exercised about that. I mean, this was the game I kind of expected Arsenal to lose, and I'm not sure winning of it would have helped us. I don't know if we need those extra fixtures in the schedule. The only thing I would say is I do wonder if this competition represented our best chance of re-qualifying for European football. Now, some will say we don't want European football. Some will say it congests our season, it doesn't help us out, it means we carry a bigger squad. And that's true. I would have to accept that. The other side of that coin is it brings in revenue. And I think that's about 30 million quid Arsenal could probably do with after coronavirus and everything that's come with that. Nevertheless, we're out. I was really struck by the starting lineup, how many of those players I looked at and thought, sort of read a bit like an Arsenal rejects 11. A couple in there who you wouldn't say that of. Gabriel at centre-half, Gabriel Martinelli on the left wing, but so many other names in there that you just thought, we're not going to be seeing them much longer at Arsenal. The obvious ones, Kolasinac, Mustafi, increasingly Dani Ceballos. I think it's quite unlikely he's got a long-term future here. Maybe the same is true of Mohamed El-Neni, Alex Lacazette. I think the fact he started this game kind of shows, in some respects, how far he's fallen in Mikel Arteta's thinking. He's been playing Europa League games, he's been playing League Cup games. He's scored a good goal tonight, and I think he's a better player than Eddie Nketiah. But clearly Arteta, doesn't really see him as a Premier League striker right now. What else can I say about the lineup? Obviously, Runarsson was in goal. This was a really bad night for him. I did fear we might see something like this. I was speaking to someone before the game, and I said I was worried about him facing Manchester City. For my money, he struggled a little bit in some of the Europa games, so this is a different calibre of opponent. I think he looked out of his depth. It's not too often you see an Arsenal player look so out of their depth. I mentioned on Twitter, I remember Alex Song playing at Fulham, going off at half-time. I think if he was an outfield player, he might have been substituted at half-time, or certainly in the second half. Goalkeepers have sort of spared that humiliation often. But I think tonight was kind of humiliating for him in another way. Look, maybe he'll come good. Maybe he'll prove us wrong. Alex Song did to an extent. Other players have. I remember watching Emmanuel Adebayor miss 2 open goals in a single game against Portsmouth. A couple of years later, he scored 30 goals in the season. So I've learned to never write anybody off. But it doesn't look good for an Arsenal right now. And I don't think it looks good for Iñaki Caña, the coach who selected him, nor the recruitment execs who allowed it to happen. I get it. You buy a backup goalkeeper for cheap. You don't want to invest a lot of money. Personally, I think you get someone in who's older. I think you get someone towards the end of their career. You get a Brad Friedel, a Mark Schwarzer, someone like that who will just come in, even Romero to an extent at United, and do a job, but who is experienced and reliable. That would be my preference. But anyway, not easy to find someone like that. I appreciate that. Petr Cech's back playing for Chelsea. Does he want a gig? What else to say? Gabriel Martinelli had a really good night, and I was relieved when he came off injured in a way. It's just a kick. I wish he hadn't got injured because it might rule him out of Chelsea, but I sort of think at least we didn't play him for the 90 minutes and it got worse. I wouldn't have put him back out there for the second half, but he brought a lot of energy, movement, pressing, things that have been sorely lacking in Arsenal's front line of late. A lot of pressure to heap on a young kid for him to be a saviour, but you can see why people might reach that conclusion after what he showed tonight versus what we've seen from this team previously. Another defeat means that the Chelsea game gets bigger, and I'm not sure if Mikel Arteta can afford another heavy defeat. Let's put it like that. I don't think there's any expectation really that he'll win this game, but Arsenal need to be competitive and need to not be embarrassed. Leave it there for now. Speak soon, guys. Bye-bye.